Hi everyone, welcome to the Inward Safari. What if I told you that all psychological pain and suffering is unnecessary? How would you take that? Would you agree with that? Or would you go, what? Wait a minute. What do you mean all psychological pain and suffering is unnecessary? I am suffering. I'm in pain. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm frustrated oftentimes. And so, no, it's just part of the human nature. We get upset. That's what we do. It's okay. Well, so that's when I realized that when I pose this to people, many times they look at me dumbfounded and say that very thing. In fact, some can get so upset, some frustrated and angry, like, I got your suffering for you right here. But it really is true. All psychological pain and suffering is unnecessary. And yet, if we can't see what we can't see and we don't understand this, then that statement just makes no sense, and it can be so irritating because you're not showing me any compassion. I'm really upset here. I'm hurt. It'd be like me taking my arm and pinching myself as hard as I can and saying to you, this really hurts. Can you help me? And you'd go, yeah. I mean, it really, really hurts. You could say, yeah, I could help you. My suggestion is stop pinching yourself. You go, what? Stop pinching yourself. Oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that. You see, no one would ever consciously hurt themselves. That doesn't mean we don't suffer the consequences for our ignorance, but once we realize that it's not the outside external world that causes us to feel in any way whatsoever, it's always our interpretation. It's always the level of where we're perceiving something that determines how we feel. So, but I did rephrase this and said that all psychological pain and suffering is absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary until it becomes unnecessary. Now, how does it become unnecessary? When you realize that you're the one, your interpretation, your evaluation of things, the way you are perceiving things determines how you're feeling. Suddenly we have spiritual maturity. Prior to that, we have spiritual immaturity. It's no big deal. We just didn't understand what we were doing. And now that once that understanding takes place and takes hold, we're more in alignment with our true nature. The part of us that never is disturbed is always imperturbable. And if you find yourself flying off the handle at something somebody does, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up over it. An everyday occurrence. Let's just look at this. Let's say we're in the grocery store. We have just a few items. We're going to go to that 15 item or less checkout, right? And just as we're approaching, somebody with a full cartload of groceries cuts in and pulls right in front of us. What do? Do you have an automatic reaction against that person? Whether you say it or not, is it like, well, you moron. This is a 15 item or less express lane. You have a full cartload of groceries. You might even approach them and say something, maybe angrily or maybe gently, but whatever. It's just curious. It'll be really fun to watch yourself in your reactions, whether they're automatic and knee-jerk or whether you are responding in a conscious way. And if you are responding in a conscious way, you'll never be against that person. They might not have even realized what they've done. They might be so lost in their day, they don't even know they've gone to this 15 item or less checkout. What about on the roadway? There you are driving along, mind your own business, and all of a sudden somebody just cuts in front of you, doesn't cause an accident, but you have to put on your brakes. It's like, whoa! Again, do you let them know that they're the number one driver on the road in your opinion? An automatic reaction, or do you just realize there was somebody that cut in front of you? Watch your responses, watch your reactions, and realize that it's never outside of you that causes you to feel the way you feel. It's your interpretation. The closer you can align with your true nature, the less these things even occur. The more out of alignment you are with your true nature, the more often you're going to run into these experiences. So how is psychological pain and suffering our best friend? Because it's an advanced system for you to recognize, wow, I am misperceiving this. I have just given my power away to this person, and let them determine how I'm going to feel, or this situation or this circumstance. So play with it, watch what you do with it, And never beat yourself up, but realize that all psychological pain and suffering is truly necessary until it becomes unnecessary. Thanks for joining me.